Greetings. It's time to travel to Bali. Bali for November the 7th, 2025. This is a group trip via Culture Holidays. Please join us and we'll go over the next couple slides so you can know what to expect when traveling with us to Bali 2025. As you can see, Bali is located off the continent of Asia. It's an island that is emerged with most favorable travel destination in Asia. It's also called the island of the gods. Bali has so much to offer with the culture and plus the scenery that I'm sure that everyone will enjoy. Now, to travel to Bali, you must have a passport and a visa is required. So a visa can be obtained upon arrival, either at the airport or online. So to be eligible for a visa on arrival, you must have a passport that is valid and that is valid for 6 months after your arrival date. Visitors with a tourist or visit visa must hold a return or onward ticket, so a ticket to show when you will be departing Bali. Proof of sufficient funds to cover your expenses during your visit. So that'll be approximately US dollars, probably around $1,000. That just had to show that you're eligible for travel in the country. A completed arrival departure card, which you can actually receive at your port of entry or your flight. The visa on arrival allows you to stay up to 30 days with the option for extension, which could be additional 30 days with a max of 60 days. And the cost for this actual visa is 35 US dollars. So this is what you will need in order to enter the country of Bali. Congratulations, you booked and you're ready to go to Bali. So on day one, which is November 7th in Bali. So please keep in mind when you book your airfare with your travel agent or on your own that you may have to depart your city either on November the 7th or 6th, depending on your arrival in Bali. So once you arrive in Bali, we'll be greeted by Culture Holidays. They will be the tour operator that will host us the whole time while we're in Bali. They're a very great and successful company that's very knowledgeable in the country of Bali. So again, there's so much to offer in Bali. So on day one, you can shop, you can visit the local areas, or just enjoy the amenities at the hotels. But remember to get a good night's rest because we do have several days ahead of us that we will be exploring all that Bali offers. So you ready? Day two, Kentamani day trip with swing and lunch. Bali currently boasts 15 colossal swings varying in different shapes and size. Some may be under construction and many more may be available. Picture yourself on the aesthetically pleasing swings amidst the heavenly natural beauty of Bali. With this, you could take different photos of everything that's around you and while you're on these lovely swings. Next, we'll go to Kintamani Highland, which is a village celebrated for its diverse landscape. This remarkable place offers a plethora of dining options, including the chance to savor the world's most expensive coffee. Amidst the numerous breathtaking views, the sight of the impressive active volcano, Mount Bator, is truly mesmerizing. So on this day, we'll actually have an overnight stay in Ubud and actually have breakfast and lunch provided. It's day three with Sacred Monkey Forest and 2 hour spa with flower bath. So it's time for some interaction with nature in the famous Sacred Monkey Forest. This unique forest is nature's reserve in a temple complex, which is a abode of hundreds of long-tailed monkeys. Don't worry, these monkeys are very, very friendly and interact with tens of thousands of people per year. So they're used to being around people. Now, this forest is the home of the Holy Spring Bathing Temple, which you're more than welcome to enjoy the water or however it may be. So there's different things that you can do while you're there. Take pictures, plenty of photo opportunities. After this memorable experience, absorb yourself in the most revigorating and soul satisfying spa, which will be submerged in exotic flower petals, natural scents, aesthetic bathtubs, surrounded by Bali decor, and different things. And this night, you'll also stay in Kuta, Bali, which will have a transfer via Culture Holiday, and breakfast will be included. Now let's get ready to explore day 4. Day 4 by design is a day for exploration. So it's a day at your leisure. You can choose additional optional tour. The one optional tour that's recommended by Culture Holiday is the Yula Watu Temple Tour, which also includes a dance show and a seafood dinner. So around 3 o'clock, Culture Holidays will pick you up and you'll return to the hotel around 10. But during that time, you'll get to explore different areas of the seaside cliffs of the Jabarian Bay, different scenery, all kinds of enjoyment. The dance show you'll enjoy around 6 o'clock, followed by a seafood dinner. Once all the activities are concluded, you'll be returned to the hotel by Culture Holidays. So again, this is an optional tour. The optional tour is $135 per person. That's in US dollars, $135 per person. And this is available on the booking website if you are interested. So day 5 is also a day at leisure. The beauty of this itinerary allows for you to build the activities that you would like to partake in on day 4 and 5. So the optional tour that's recommended by Culture Holiday on day 5 is the Elephant Safari Tour. This actual tour, you will actually be given a time by Culture Holiday. They'll pick you up and drop you back to the hotel. The actual activity should last approximately 4 to 5 hours, and the cost is 179 US dollars per person. There are two other optional tours that's available. They're called the Bali Instagram tour. The information is listed on the booking website, or you can contact me directly for more information if you happen to be interested in the actual Bali Instagram tour. So each night of these leisure days, you will have your nightly accommodations included, which is your overnight stay in Kuta, Bali, and then breakfast is always available daily, included in the package price. Now we have came to day 6 of our 6-day, 5-night tour in Bali. So day 6, you'll wake up, have your bags packed, and we're probably headed to the airport. Depending on your time, you may have time to actually explore Bali even more. So this is something that is tailored to each individual, depending on what departure city or city that you're returning back to. But again, breakfast is included on day 6. So this is a day that we can actually discuss individually based on each individual needs. So let's talk about our hotel accommodations. So with our hotel accommodations, we currently do have some reservations that are pre-booked for us on the behalf of our group. With our group, we do look at currently 20 people possibly traveling on this group package. So Culture Holiday has put a soft hold at these two hotels for us. So we do have a hotel available in Ubud and Kuta. So depending on our group size and how many people actually book will depend on whether or not the availability of these two hotels. So keep in mind that if these hotels are not actually available, they will book something similar or comparable to our actual hotel listed here. So this will give you a sample. Usually 2 months prior to our departure, we'll have confirmed hotel accommodations. So also something else to keep in mind, depending on your departure city and arrival times to Bali, there may be a need for a pre or post night. That is an additional cost because this package contains 6 days and 5 nights. So if you were in a situation that you would like additional nights, please see the booking website, and the booking website will have the additional nights cost available to you. If any questions that you may have at any time, please contact me. So we just talked about the different things that are included in the 6-day, 5-night fascinating Bali land package. So the pricing is $1,312 per person based on double occupancy per room. Please note, rates are subject to change. So currently we do have this rate on hold for our group up until January the 10th. So by January the 10th, in order to book, we need to just deposit of $100 per person is required to book to lock in that pricing. So again, the deposit is non-refundable and your final payment is due by August the 15th, 2025. So let's review again. What's included? 2 nights accommodation in a hotel in Ubud, 3 nights accommodation at a hotel in Kuta, Bali, meet and greet at the airport by a representative, which will be from Culture Holidays, daily breakfast at the hotel, 1 lunch during the Kantamani sightseeing, which is including local food, airport to hotel and vice versa transfers, internal hotel transfers, and transfers from to and from your activities such listed below. The Kantamani tour with Sacred Monkey, the famous Bali swing, and a 2-hour spa treatment and flower bath. So these are the items that are included in your package. So things to keep in mind when you're booking your package that's not included in the package. Airfare. Airfare will be a separate cost. So we will talk about airfare in a couple slides later. So early check-in, check-out at the hotel, visa and insurance. So visa is additional cost, which we already talked about. That's 35 US dollars approximately. And then insurance. We'll talk about insurance. Insurance is very important on international trips, and we'll talk about why. Meals and drinks that are not mentioned in the itinerary. Personal expenses such as phone calls, laundry, and souvenirs. Usually 2 months prior to our departure, we'll actually put together a Zoom meeting for folks that are joining us on the trip so we can have it as a meet and greet. We'll talk about the different things like how much should you take for souvenirs, phone calls, what you should do for that, what would be the choice of media for communicating within the group, things of that nature. Optional activities or excursions are not included in the itinerary, such as like day 4 and day 5 tours. Those are optional and can be added at additional cost. Gratuities for guides, drivers, and hostel staff. All other expenses not mentioned in the cost is not included. So we'll talk about the additional costs that you may want to consider in later slides. So this is the cancellation policy for the land package. Deposits again are non-refundable. However, if canceled more than 60 days before the travel date, you can transfer it to another date or trip with Culture Holidays. So Culture Holidays does offer a lot of other tours globally. So if canceled less than 60 days before the trip, deposits are non-refundable and non-transferable for the balance amount. The below cancellation fee will be applicable. So 60 to 31 days prior to arrival, it is 40% of the tour. 30 to 7 days prior to the arrival is 75% of the tour. And then 6 days, less than 72 hours or a no-show, there's no refund. So please note that flight cancellations will be handled separately through the selected airline for your flights. Okay, so let's talk about how to get to Bali. So obviously you're going to have to fly. The best time to book a flight for Bali would be 6 months to 2 months prior to your departure. So you don't want to do anything less than 2 months. That's when the prices hike up extensively. Currently, flights are available for international and domestic flights. Flights are usually become available between 11 months prior, but generally it takes time for some competitive pricing to be available. So that's the reason why I say 6 months to 2 months prior to departure. Right now, I will show you some sample flight fare prices, but hopefully they will decrease. I cannot guarantee that because I do not work for the airline, but I just wanted to show you so this way you can plan accordingly and budget so you'll understand what a flight to Bali can cost you. Generally, usually between $1,300 to $1,800, but here's what we currently have. So this is a sample flight from Maryland. So this one is leaving out of Washington, D.C. actually, okay? So it's Washington, D.C. to Bali. So your airport codes is IAD to DPS, okay? So when you're booking a trip to Bali, always remember your arrival time and your departure, because your departure, depending on how many hours it's going to take you. So again, it can range from anywhere from 25 hours to 40 hours to travel to Bali, because you're going to have some connecting flights. There's not going to be a direct flight from the United States to go to Bali. So this one here that I'm choosing is coming from out of DC. So DC, you will leave at 10:30 a.m. and you will arrive at 8:15 a.m. in Dubai. So this is via Emirates Airlines. So Emirates is a great choice, a very reputable airline for international travel. So it is a 19-hour layover in Dubai. For those that haven't been to Dubai, it's a great time to visit a city that you haven't been to before. So with Dubai, it's 19 hours. So with Emirates, they do have what they call Connect. It's called Emirates Connect. So with Emirates Connect, there is some terms and conditions that you have to look at. With Emirates, they actually offer transportation, hotel stay, and some amenities that are available for passengers that have a connecting flight that's 10 hours or more. So it's very worth looking into, because the departing flight for Bali does not leave out to 3 something in the morning, and you would actually arrive into Bali 4:30 in the afternoon on your departure day. Okay, so with that, that is going to be some traveling, but there's some downtime on your way there. If you're not used to actually traveling that distance on an airplane, it's a great option for you. So there's other options available. Just contact me, let me know your departure city, and we can work accordingly. So back to this flight here we have in front of us. So on the day that you actually depart from Bali, it will be departing at 7:30 at night. So again, you are going to have a layover, and this layover is a lot shorter. It's only like an hour and a half approximately. And then from there, you'll actually arrive back into DC. Let's see what time. I'm sorry, need some glasses on there. 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. So that is something to look at and basically consider and go from there. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 8 o'clock the next morning. So 8:10 the next morning. So that is something to look at to see if it's worth looking at. So it takes a day or two to travel back, and also remember the different time zones. So when it comes to booking your flight, again, you can go east or west. So you have various different cities folks are coming from. So let me know your city. So if you're in the Midwest, generally you'll have a connecting flight in a city, probably like in Asia, something like Hong Kong or Tokyo. So here's another sample flight. This one is through Qatar Airline, which will be leaving out of Charlotte, because I know I have a group coming out of Charlotte. So Charlotte to Dubai, your airport codes is Charlotte to DPS. Right now, the cost is $1,879.21 per person. With all these airlines, airlines have some great options when it comes to paying for your actual flights. So with the flights, this particular one for Qatar, you do have PayPal. There's some people that might wait until like 3 months prior, book, and then be paying on it for 12 months from that 3 months prior to our trip. So we'll go on the trip and come back, and some people still paying on their airline, which is an option. So that's something just to think about. But again, this price is subject to change, because I'm not recommending anyone to book now for your flight, but please book 6 months to 2 months prior. So in Charlotte, Charlotte's not considered an international airport, so you're probably going to have a connecting flight somewhere in the United States. This particular trip, you're either going to connect in New York or you're going to connect in Atlanta, then fly overseas. Usually in Charlotte, you do not fly directly overseas from that actual airport, especially if you're going to Bali. So with this one, I can give you more details if you're interested. But again, I would like for us to give it a couple more months, and hopefully the pricing will come down. But again, like I said, I cannot guarantee it. And the best time to book your flight is approximately 6 months to no later than 2 months prior to your departure. And just a quick tip for your folks, for even domestic or international flight. Does anybody know the best day to look for travel or travel plans for flights? It's a Tuesday, Travel Tuesday. So Tuesday is an awesome day to look for flight. So there's a lot of monitoring, I guess you would say, apps out there. So if you guys are interested, we could work together. I can help monitor if you tell me which days or which time frames or which city you're leaving from. I'm here to assist. But generally, a lot of people have points with different airlines and like to use their points and different things of that nature. So we can be definitely flexible when it comes to the airfare. So any questions you have, please let me know, and I'm here to support and assist. So you guys ready? Let's go to Bali. So to prepare to go to Bali, let's just look at some different costs that are associated with Bali. So this way you have an idea how much to budget for this trip. So this is the projected cost per person. So based on double occupancy for the land package, again the land package was $1,312. Okay, so that's double occupancy, meaning two or more in the room. Okay, so flight to DPS, which is in Bali, is going to cost approximately $1,700. That was based on the two samples that we basically gave. One was for $1,600, the other one was $1,800. So we just went with the $1,700 for a budgeting purpose. So the total price is roughly $3,312 per person. Now, there are some people that reached out to me that are interested in going for single occupancy. So if it is single occupancy, please budget additional $550 per person, okay, for your package, because that package single occupancy rate is $1,866. So again, those two prices for the land package, the double occupancy price of $1,312 and single occupancy of $1,866 is currently on a courtesy hold. So we're asking for people to book by January the 10th. And the book is a $100 deposit to lock in those rates, okay? So next thing to consider is trip insurance. So depending on your flight costs, your package costs, your tour costs, and all that stuff, we will give you a quote for your trip insurance. So trip insurance, we are estimating can range you from $220 to $250 per person. So the 220 side was basically already for like $2,500. So 250 or more, depending on what you select for your actual travel insurance. So you can tell me the amount, I put it in and send it to the company, and from there you'll actually get your quote based on the amount that you would like to be insured. So why do you want to be insured? Let's talk about that. Number one, protect your investment. So if you're going to go spend over $3,000 for a trip, you will want to protect that investment. You don't want it to be canceled for whatever reason may happen, potentially, or however it may be, and not get your money back. So paying trip insurance will actually protect your investment. So based on the reason for cancellation, the policy will let you know whether or not you can be reimbursed for that amount. Okay. So again, trip insurance, when you pay for the premium trip insurance, that money is non-refundable, but it's protecting your investment. So it protects for a trip cancellation, accidental accidents, or some natural disasters, depending on what it is, because the insurance policy will let you know which ones it actually covers. Whether or not health insurance. Health insurance is something you really should entertain, especially traveling overseas. A lot of countries will ask for proof of health insurance prior to entering the country. And then things that could occur while you on travel, your domestic health insurance will not cover you. And especially, I know you've probably seen incidents where people had to get a GoFundMe paid because they needed helicopter transportation back because of their vacation. You would never ever want to be one of those folks. So how to avoid those type of situations is to purchase trip insurance. So the best time to book is within 14 days of initial deposit. So I use the word book so much, it's basically purchase. So the best time to purchase your actual trip insurance is within 14 days of your initial deposit. So again, I can do individual quotes or however it may be based on your needs. So if you have any questions or any concerns, please contact me. Thank you. So y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get ready to book. So when you book, this QR code is listed on this actual slide. It is scanned by your phone and it'll take you right to the booking website. So if you haven't done it already, apply or update your passport immediately, because remember, you have to have 6 months after the arrival date in Bali available on your passport. So if we're looking at the date now, the date should be a year and a half from now. Okay, so basically make sure your passport is ready to go. Next, find a roommate because go on double occupancy. But if not, go ahead and go alone because hey, it's 2025 trip and now it's the time to travel and have some fun. So, next, coordinate with your roommate when they're ready to pay the deposit. It's best to pay it at the same time because the booking website that we use, Culture Holiday, you want to make sure that we basically book within 24 hours. If not, they'll take the booking as a single supplement actual booking. So we want to book at the same time if possible. Next up, book your land package and pay the non-refundable $100 deposit per person. So again, scan that QR code, take you right to the website, select how many people are going in your room, and then go ahead and pay that $100 per person deposit so you can book because we want to get everybody booked by January 10th so we can lock in those prices because after that, it is subject to change. Next up, coordinate and decide on your airfare arrangements and book no later than August/September of 2025. I'm here to assist. Best time again is 6 months to 2 months prior to your actual departure to book that airfare. Next, pay your monthly payment installments by August the 15th, 2025, because there is an automatic monthly payment. You want to be on a monthly schedule, so this way we can stay on target because we all want to go to Bali in November of 2025. Next, September to November 2025, save that money for the extra expenses of meals, souvenirs, all that good stuff. Then in September of 2025, I'll schedule a Zoom meeting so we can discuss and do a meet and greet reference to our trip. So this way we can get acquainted with one another. Next, October 2025, start packing for your trip because we can ready to go. Because next up, November 2025, let's travel to Bali. So this is a trip that we don't want to miss. Come on and let's go to Bali. Well, thank you for your time today for exploring Bali of November 2025, 6-day, 5-night land package. On this slide, you'll find my direct contact information, email, telephone number. At any time, please feel free to reach out. We look forward to traveling with you in November 2025 to Bali. It's the time to travel. Happy travels!